Hello everybody, Andy from Glass Half Dead here, and today I want to talk about the top 3 best beginner teams for Kill Team. Now look, the answer here is very obvious, and it's compendium teams. They are honestly all great to learn the game with. I would 100% recommend learning any of them, and I think they're legitimately very good. However, perhaps you want to advance, and you want to think about, stop. We need to define what a beginner team is, right? And what is best. That's how you start this video, isn't it? Because we could all just say this is the best team. But what's the best team for a beginner? And perhaps there are beginners that if they don't just want to play compendium, want to play the real, to use an odd terminology there, kill team, which means a specialist team. So straight away, no compendium, okay? We understand that, no compendium teams. If you just want to play compendium, play a compendium team. They're great. They are all good to learn the game on. But when I consider the best beginner kill team, I'm not just thinking of how to learn the game, although that is a big factor. I'm also thinking of what is going to last you from beginning to end. So every team I've thought of here, that I will reason to you as to why they should be on this list, not only is a great team to learn the game on, but is also a great team to take all the way to the top brackets in a tournament. So, what is it? Right, sorry. Let me rephrase, okay? When I'm thinking of the best beginner team, I'm thinking of the 3 S's. Strong, simple, slutty. Simple, that means you should be able to put it on the table and not be immediately tabled by making a bad move. Strong, that means you should be able to go from the beginner all the way to the top tables. Slutty, it should be something that you see on the top tables a lot. This means it's going to help you learn the game and how to play into different teams, because not only are you playing them, but you will be seeing them a lot. This could have also been the word archetypal, but that didn't really fit in with the whole 3 S's thing. But anyway, before we dive into the rest of the video and I give you my answers, which you can probably see on camera, we have to get to the point of this is a subscriber only benefit. So if you're not a subscriber, check the timestamps below for the teams. If you are a subscriber, I'd like to give you a big double hello. Wow, wasn't that so wholesome? Guys, wholesomeness is good. What is a double hello though? Well, it's a pleasantry that's given to you twice, and I give that to you, good sirs. If you like what you're seeing here, consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. If you like this slightly more interesting layout with multiple cameras, consider checking me out over on Full Scale Wargaming, where I'll be doing this sort of slightly higher quality avant-garde content a little bit more often. Also, I have a Patreon. It'd be awesome if you could support me over there. Anyway, let's get straight into the video. Okay, we've ruled out compendium, although compendium is great. Let's be clear on that, obviously. We have to discuss intercession. Now, intercession is the obvious answer, and it's the correct answer, and therefore I'm not going to mention intercession, because that's just too obvious. Now, look, intercession is just the correct answer. I don't really have anything else. It is the most numerous team in the game. It is incredibly durable. It is incredibly simple. Play intercession. That's just the right answer. But everybody knows that's the right answer. So let's move on from that. That's a boring video. Hey, if you want to know more about intercession, go and check out my guide that I did on them. It tells you what you need hobby-wise and how to play them in a very basic way. Cool. Let's kick off the list proper with what is probably a little bit controversial, Kasrkin. Now, I would have said this even before they got a buff, but the fact that they got a buff makes them suddenly really fit into that second S, strong. But let's start with simple. These guys are the best of the best of the best, sir. Kasrkin. This is the archetypal Imperium kill team. They've got your comms, they've got your Auspex, they've got your gunners, they've got your leader who's a little bit better. They teach you the power of how to place tokens, how and when to use basic strat and tactical ploys. They're a very obvious team. They don't really have shenanigans, they just have core gameplay. This team is going to teach you about the core of ranged gameplay, but also teach you when to push specifically for melee. You're not good at melee, but when you need to get a melee kill, this team teaches you when it's vital and viable. And of course, they're the Kasrkin, they're the best of the best of the best, sir. They are super good for hobby. Brand new models, if you want to go default, although good luck getting them at the moment, am I right? But also, they're just kind of generic special forces, if you really boil them down. You can proxy them in Imperial Guard for Scions, or you can even double them up as regular Vet Guard. So put them on 25mm bases, as the Death Core of Krieg should be, take the Death Core, and then just give them little base extenders to make them 28s when you want to play them as Kasrkin. They're essentially, because they're so generic, the same team, just slightly different stats. They are the archetypical generic special force dudes. And elite points are great, they just make things better. That's Kasrkin, a legitimately good team to learn this game on. We then go to pick 2, it is the Legionary. Okay, so look, these guys are kind of in line with Intercession, except Intercession are better, I would probably say, certainly for a beginner team. It's an elite team, so you really don't have many models to like fret and worry over. You can just run them up, and their durability is just innate into their datasheet. And they don't really need to work together. You can want one guy to run up and do a thing, but then he gets halfway and you want him to do another thing. Well, in any other team, you probably can't do that. But in an elite Intercession team or an elite Legionary team, yeah, you could just change your mind halfway through an activation and say, actually, I'm going to do something else. There's no real need to worry about overlapping auras and combos. However, unlike Intercession, these guys allow you to play around a little bit with list building. You get many different marks of chaos. Now look, you can always just go as a default Nurgle team. That gives you damage reduction. Damage reduction in this game is really strong. But you can also take an identical team, so no extra hobby required, and say, actually, I want them to all be Khorne. I want them to be the melee team this time. I want them to be the shooting team this time with Tzeentch. I want them to be the slightly faster dudes, or dudettes, with Slaanesh. And you can run all 6 as one mark, or you can start swapping and changing them. 6 models can legitimately give you 20 models on the roster. And they're a really good mixed arms team. You've got great range with your plasma, you've got really strong up close damage, you've got psychers, very cool team, really mixed arm stuff, great to see it. Effective at all ranges, and of course they're Chaos Marines, so when you think about the hobby, they can do so much. Even just sticking to I want Chaos dudes, that's, 5 teams? You can redo them all as Black Legion for Undivided, a full Death Guard box for Nurgle, you can do full Emperor's Children for Slaanesh, etc, etc. This here, 6 models, again, can be 24 models if you really want to get into the hobby. And that's without even going outside of the 5 core legions of Chaos. You can also do them as Loyalists if you want to do them as Intercession. But just say, nope, these are, specially converted models. You could easily do Space Wolves, Black Templars. It's a really versatile hobby team, as all Marine teams are. Or you can be the absolute antithesis of Kill Team, aka play Kill Team because it's so much cheaper, and redo every single model as a character model. So I've got, Cypher, Master of Executions, Master of Demonic Possession, and like, oh great, yeah, no, I totally wanted to spend 250 quid for 6 models. Thanks, G-dubs. That's me, my bad. Anyway, amazing team, even without going outside of just, I want Chaos dudes. Finally, the third team. Now this is going to be a little bit controversial, okay? So hey, if you've already left that controversial comment on this saying, actually nobody should ever play Kasrkin, they aren't ballistic skill free, then get ready to edit that bad boy for the third and final team. Void Dancers. So, let's talk about Void Dancers. As a beginner faction, before you know the rest of Kill Team, your tactics are very simple. Move forwards, fight in melee. And that's all you have to do. If you just want to get on the board and roll some dice, this is the team. Void Dancers. Hit stuff with blades if it's any team, hit stuff with kisses and hope you get a crit if it's a 7 wound model team. That's it. That is all of your tactics. Play domino field every turn. Done. Everything has fly, so you only need to worry about your own positioning and threat ranges. Literally nothing else. You will never have an easier time as a beginner than this team right here. It's kind of beautiful. But then as you progress and your friends progress alongside you, you will find if that's all you're doing, you will start to lose. You have to progress with this team. Now you will get an advantage as a beginner. This is a very easy team to pick up and play, but you will start to lose. You do have bad matchups. You will have to learn the game. You will have to learn when and where to use your specific tactical ploys. You cannot play domino field every turn. You need to learn when to save your CP, when to advance with it. You're also going to have to learn that actually charging and killing stuff in melee isn't going to win you the game. You can do that, you can table an opponent, but you'll still lose on VP. You are going to have to learn when you start progressing into intermediate and master territories just when you need to stop killing and start scoring. When to swap your lead player, when to swap your SADAF. This is a team that can be very fragile if misplayed. And then of course from a hobby perspective, this team is, they fly. They fly, they have some melee, they have some pistols, that's it. There's so much you can do with that. Yet many people don't. Many people feel they are stuck with, I need to use Harlequins because they're such unique models. And hey, if you want to crucify yourself on the altar of diamond painted leggings, you do you. Good for you. Well done. However, there's so much you can do here. I myself have done too much. I don't have a default Void Dancer team. These guys here are Blood Bowl elf players. Like awesome. One of them's a character from 40k. Like they look awesome. They're great and they're so easy to convert. However, you can also get more freaky out there. I've also done a Hellions team because Drukhari Hellions, super cool, super dynamic, super unique. You can also be a little bit more loyalist maybe, you little crazy freak you, and go with something else that I bought but never did because I like to spend too much money on my hobby apparently, is Jump Pack Space Marines. Put them on a 25mm base, give them cool flying poses, that's right, it's the Death Company. And the beauty of this team is also that in general, in fact always, you are always going to take the same melee weapon. So when you're doing proxies, it doesn't matter how you equip them. You only need to define 2 items, your special pistols. With the Harlequin team, you pretty much can get by right from beginner all the way to top tables by only ever taking blades or kisses. And when all of your melee weapons are the same, it doesn't matter what you give them. You can take that Marine Jump Pack team, give them all sort of funky, you know, in carmine blades and great axes and just say, yeah, they're all blades. Because that's fine. That's fine when it comes to proxies. People know what you're taking if it's all the same. Or you can get a bit more out there. You can do some custom 3D printed Tau jetpack guys, which I've seen around. You can do drones if you prefer. You can do Adeptus Sororitas Seraphim. Literally every faction has something that can fly, and that makes sense for this team. Otherwise, just do the whole diamond cloth thing and, you know, hate your life, I guess. I don't do the diamond cloth thing and I hate my life anyway, so, you know, why not double down? Anyway, guys, if you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. Wow, wasn't that incredibly wholesome? Chaps, chapesses, chapai. If you like what you've seen here, consider giving a like and subscribe. And hey, honestly, if you made it to the end of this video, nothing helps a small YouTuber like me more than just watching the whole damn video. Once again, if you like what you've seen here, consider going and check out Full Scale Wargaming as well, because this sort of thing is going to be much more prevalent over there. This is, if you see any good quality content on Glass Half Dead, I assure you that is just a prelude to me playing around with editing and messing around with things to see how things really work before, you know, using this as a testing ground before doing good stuff over on Full Scale Wargaming on a regular basis, whereas Glass Half Dead is purely me testing things. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Stay well, stay hydrated, stay pimping. Goodbye. Fuck my knees.